This is someone I'm excited to have on. All right. He also has a credit business. He's in the credit repair industry, and a great resource. So definitely, if you guys have credit cards and you want to know what is the best credit card for me to even be using, he definitely has the answers. I'll tell you a quick scenario. I think we did one together, right? And it was to Rome or something? It was somewhere that Erica wanted to go.
Yeah. Rome. I think it was Rome. Yeah.
And it ended up coming out to like $100 out of my pocket, which is insane, right? I can rack up easy 150,000 points, easy. All right, but I don't think I've mastered how to spend them and travel hack anywhere. Like if I go to like Miami, I'm probably paying the same price that everyone else pays, right? So my question to you, right? Get us started with what do you think are some of the best cards so we can enjoy some of those trips to Rome with the $100 out of pocket.
All right. So before anything, key component, this is a side note. In order for you to qualify for these cards that give you points or cash back or this privilege of traveling for free, you need to have good credit. So period. Don't apply thinking if you watch this live saying, oh, I want to get an Amex or a Chase or a Capital One, and you have bad credit, you're going to get denied. All right. So that's number one. If you have bad credit, hit one of us up. We fix that. Once you're at the 740s, 780s or higher, which these are top tier cards that give you these points, then it's easier. In regard to what card to get, every card has a specific job. Some cards they all have multipliers, I call them, right? Which means like they'll give you 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x for every dollar you spend in whatever category. So based on your lifestyle, your natural spend, whether it's business or personal, if the card gives you 2 points for every dollar spent for food, groceries, gas, office supplies, internet, shopping online, like convenience, anything, you want to make sure you match the card's multiplier by your lifestyle. Because don't get me wrong, if you know you're going to spend a big chunk tomorrow and it heads that category, you get mad points. That's going to happen every once in a while if you have to buy something major. But in reality, get a card that hits and matches your natural lifestyle, and that's the easiest way to print points, like you said. If you're going to spend 100,000 points based on whatever category, every year doing nothing, right? The easiest way to get the most points fast, actually, is going to be through a sign-up bonus. So if anyone ever looks at a card offer, it'll say, sign up now, spend 4, 6, 8, whatever the amount of money they recommend, and you get free points. And with those points, it's the fastest way to get anywhere. And then from there, you got 80,000 points on top of what you're spending, right?
Yeah, on top of that. So you're getting the initial entry-level point, the 80,000 points. I'm getting the points of what I spend already, and they just keep growing.
So then getting 60 to 100,000 points within a couple months is super easy.
Yeah.
And then the thing is that like the top tier cards, the Capital One, every bank has their top tier card, their middle tier, credit building, whatever. The top tier cards, they all have annual fees. You don't have to get them, but I like them. But if those cards, you're allowed to basically like use your point as either a travel, a gift card, cashback, whatever you're into. You can actually manipulate the point into whatever you like. Some people don't like to travel, use it for cash. But the true value
is in the travel.
Yeah, because like let's just say on average, the way I do the math, 1 point is worth 1 cent, right? Okay. So if you take 100,000 points, you multiply that by 0.01 for 1 cent, that's equivalent to $1,000.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So and everyone listening to this, you guys should write that down. 1 point is equivalent to 1 cent.
1 cent off the minimum, right? So if you rack up cash back, if you look at it like, oh, 3% cash back, it's really 3%, 3 points, but they convert it to cash. So you can look at it like 100,000 points. You could go and get $1,000 cash, however you want. Or people will say, if you apply it to your bill, your credit bill, it's worth $800. So most people are like, oh, cool, I don't want to pay $800 on my stuff. Yeah. But it's the same amount of points.
Okay.
In reality, the maximal value, the true value is going to be in traveling because the incentivize you to use your points to go on vacations. So, for instance, I helped a client of mine. Him and his wife went to Florence, Italy. Right.
Right.
It cost $1,600 if they paid cash one way.
Okay.
Right. It came out to $170, and they only used 25,000 points for both of them.
Okay. Okay.
So imagine having 25,000 points. That's $250, right? Or you can use that and get a trip to Florence for the cash value of $1,600. All you have to do is pay
the taxes.
I think the taxes, which was like 140 or something like that. Which either way, the ticket alone. I mean, that's.
So all right. So I know I can use my points. So if everyone out there, you can use your points, and you're gonna go on like your American Express website. You're gonna go on your Chase website. But that's not exactly where you get the maximum value for your points. Like, you just can't go to Chase and book a flight to Miami, right?
You could, but the thing is that they're going to ask you for more points.
You're going to pay extra, right? So tell us the hack. Like, we want to hear the hack of how do I maximize those points when I want to travel everywhere.
All right. So the key thing I do is you always want to compare. It's like when you go food, like if I want to get shoes, Nike sells at one price, Marshalls, the same shoe is going to be different values, right? You obviously go to the cheapest price for the same exact product. When it comes to points, you want to get on the same exact flight for the least amount of cash or the least amount of points, so you can save your points for future trips, right? Yeah. So most people make the mistake is they kind of like, oh, I just use the Amex portal, the Chase portal, the Capital One portal, or the thing, or Citibank, whatever. They all have their own portal, almost like picture it as like orbits, you know? Every bank has their own relationship that you can book through them. But then they'll say, let's say you want to go to Miami, boom. Chase might say, the Chase portal might say, okay, it might cost you 30,000 points to go to Miami, or the cash value of this. So if you have 100,000 points, you're like, oh, perfect, boom, you know? But the real power is in there's something called transfer partners. A lot of banks have relationships with other airlines. And what happens is if you transfer it to the airline, you can get the same exact flight because you're on the same, the same plane, and they'll tell you less points for the same exact flight.
For the same exact flight, same exact plane. It's just I'm getting a discount at a transfer partner that I am getting from Amex's website or Chase's website.
So exactly, like
that's messed up.
So for instance, right, let's just say you want to go to Miami. Let's say Miami, right? You live in New York or New Jersey, New York. The big flights to Miami is American, right? Like out of Queens or whatever. Miami Airport is a big hub for American Airlines. Okay. So you'll see more flights for American, right? So if you went on Chase, you might say, oh, cool, Chase might charge me 16,000 points. You're like, all right, cool, whatever. But then if you go through American's website, American might charge you 10,000 points. You're like, all right, this is a better deal. But then I use one of the transfer partners that Chase, American Express, whoever has, and they have a relationship with an airline called British Airways. And British Airways is a partner of American Airlines. So I can get on an American Airlines flight through British Airways. And then they will get on the same flight to Miami for maybe 7,000 points, and I only pay $5.60 tax for a one-way. Got it. So, yeah. The intricacies of understanding that and reading and seeing how fast is something I teach. But in reality, yeah, I've gone on the same exact flight. I've gotten flights cheaper through not their actual airline, but through a relationship through their partner. You know what I mean? You're
still going to get through the same partner, still more savings, same flight, just not going directly through the source. Less
points and less in tax and less in cash. Yeah.
Everyone on this call, right? Drop in here what card you guys are using. What card we're going to review them for you. Put maybe a card that you use now most frequently to get points. If it's American Express, we got the Platinum, we got the Gold, we got the Everyday, we got the Cashback, we have the Chase Freedoms. What card are you using? Put it in the comment section, and we can review some of those points and show you how to maximize the value.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Honestly, like that's the best way. Like right now, I'm gonna look online and see if I can do a mock example of one, just so you guys can see the true value. But no, honestly, like when it comes to credit card points, the main thing I kind of teach people is this, right? you're spending the money, right? A lot of people have this misconception: credit's bad. No, credit is a tool. In the right hands, you can leverage it. In the wrong hands, you can ruin your credit and ruin your life, right?
Yeah.
But if you're a responsible person and you pay your bills on time, most people tell me I'd rather use my debit card. I'm like, okay, why? Oh, because it goes straight out of the bank. I'm like, okay, but if you treat your credit card like a debit card, for example, I spend $1,000 this month on my credit card, right? I'm on my debit card. Why not put it on your credit card and just pay it off?
Yeah.
Right? If you pay it on time, the banks are like, okay, this person's good. If you pay before the statement closing date, utilization goes up. So now you're improving your credit. You're printing cash back or points, and you're getting back something for money you already spent, as opposed to just literally, going through, just going through. What is this? Just going through, like, the bank. You're making money back.
Yeah.
Like if right now we go out to eat, $100 for a meal, right? You spend $100. What do you get back? Nothing. You put on your credit card. What do you get back? Nothing. You just pay it on time, right?
Yeah.
If you have a basic credit card with no earnings, but let's just say you have a cash back card, now you got 4%, 3%. If you get a points card, when we went out to eat for your birthday,
Amex,
the Amex was, the bill was like maybe $1,000. If you use the Amex Gold, that's 4 points. That's 4,000 points back, right?
So I do a lot of posts on that, and I feel like everyone still gets it wrong, right? I do a comparative. I do Amex Platinum, right? Which card should I use? Should I use my Amex Platinum card or the Amex Gold card? And I think because it's so similar in looking, people don't quite really understand what the difference is in between both of them, right?
The Amex Platinum is the best for travel. It's a travel card. They give you 5 points for every dollar spent on airlines through their portal or directly to the portal, period. The Amex Gold gives you 3 points for travel. So right there, what would be better, 5 or 3?
5.
Always. When it comes to anything else on Amex, it only gives you 1 point for every dollar spent. If it's travel, 5, everything else 1. Versus the Amex Gold gives you 1 point for everything. But if it hits a category of restaurants or shopping, like shopping for food, it's 4 points for dollar spent at any restaurant or any shopping.
Does that include
so if you're gonna,
like Uber and stuff like that, like those?
Anything that's considered targeted under as a merchant, as a food or restaurant, you get 4 points for every dollar spent. With Amex Platinum, you just get 1 point. Period. No matter what you spend, no matter what store, it's 1 point unless it's food. Unless it's travel. So the difference between the two is that one's a travel card and one's for food and eating. And a lot of the people don't understand the value. There's a ton of value with the Platinum and the Gold because they give you credits. Like right now, the Amex Gold, if you're a big eater, this card is the one you want to get. Amex Gold charges $250 annual fee, right? But they give you $120 a year for Uber credits, which is $10 a month. So as long as you register your card with Uber, your Uber account will show, $10.
The credit, okay.
So that drops down annual fee from $250 to $130. They also give you another $120 credit for like Grubhub, Cheesecake Factory, any of these restaurants. So if you eat in those places, now you're only paying $10 a year in annual fees, which comes out to a lot. And you're printing points with this card, which is good. And then another thing too is that a lot of people don't understand. Like they have a referral program. So if you refer one of your friends and family, they sign up with your link, they can get somewhere between 10 to 20,000
They get bonus points, and I get the bonus points as well. That I've seen. Yeah, I've done that. I try to max out.
So when you do this, the best part is that they will tell you, listen, we're gonna give you 20,000 points, right? But think about it. I just said 1 cent per point, so 20,000 times 1 cent is $200 cash. So technically, if you use your credit card to the full and you refer one friend, you profit $190 that year. Theoretically, yeah. You know what I mean? But it's just one of those things where like people don't understand the value. I'm like, you could definitely 100%, you know, get your.
You can back up pretty quickly. I mean, I see them, and I think they come on the following statement. But I've done it, especially my Chase ink. I used to love my ink. I think watching some of your content, I've kind of been teetering between my Chase or American Express. I feel like those are my two favorite cards for sure.
So when it comes to the ink, the difference between the Amexes and the Chases is that Amex is a charge card, meaning it gives you, whatever you spend, whether it's 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, you have the limit, but you have to pay it off every month. Versus Chase is a credit card. You have a set credit limit, you can't exceed it, and that's it. So that's the difference between the two. But Amex has something called spending power. So I can't spend $100K tomorrow. I mean, I can because I have my limit. But like, if someone just opened up an Amex and like, I want to spend $100K, they won't allow it. After you spending and paying it off, they'll give you something called spending power, and you can check it. You can put in a number, and it tells you you're approved for that. And the more you spend, the more you pay back, the higher your spending power, right? So these are good for businesses or people who have like, let's say you have 80,000 in expenses. If your Chase card doesn't give you those limits, you're going to be maxed out, but this card will. But the thing is that I like about Chase is that Chase has a lot of cards that are 0% for annual. And 0%, if you're a new company, a new business, and you want to get started, you just need some money to start working, Chase cards are amazing for this. Get 0%. And depending on the card, both Amex and Chase have the same offer where you could literally get on, you can combine the points, even though they're a cash card. As long as you have one of their travel cards, you can unlock their features and you can combine them and pull them into one bank. So
pull them before I go to look for my travel hacks.
Yeah, well, you need one of the travel cards to unlock it. So let's say you have the Chase, the Chase Freedom Flex, the Chase Business Ink Cash, and Unlimited. Those are all cashback cards. As long as you have one of the travel cards, either Sapphire Preferred, Reserve, or the Business Ink, you can pool them all together in one bank and move the points to whoever you want, because the travel cards give you the most amount of power to get the best dollar for whatever you
your buck. Wait, hold that thought really quick. Everybody who's on the call, don't forget, put the favorite credit card that you're using. If you're using American Express, if you're using Chase cards, Discover, whatever card you're currently using right now, we will review the cards here. We'll break down what's the best features you could be getting, which cards you qualify for, and how you can use those to travel hack your way and traveling for free. That's what we're going over today. So feel free to put your cards in there. We'll review them for you.
So right now, I'm actually, So once again, if you're not a traveler, by all means, if you don't like vacations, there are good cashback cards. Your natural lifestyle is gonna, easily 100% just pay it forward. Like you get 5% back on groceries, and when you're like, oh, I have $200 or $300, and I get a free pair of groceries, right? So it doesn't really matter on what you like. So like right now, I'm looking at, let's say I want to go away, right? So I'm going to show you an example. How do I turn this? All right. Right now, I want to go to Miami, like you said, right? So right here, let's say, I'm going to look at the time. Right now, it says on the Chase website, it's going to cost me 15,000 points and $194, right? If I go to American itself, it's going to cost me, depending, it can be 8,000 points, right? If I check British Airways, I'm going to just choose one. It might cost me 9,000 points, but less in tax. So Chase, Amex, Capital One, they all transfer to British Airways, and I can get on the same exact flight. So right now, that's a better deal than 15,000. That could probably get me 2 round trips.
Wow. All right, so we're going from 15,000 to the 9,000.
So if you use the Chase portal, it will cost you 15,000 points. If you use your points exactly how I do it, it'll cost me 9,000 points. And whenever I make those videos like, hey, American Express, Chase is doing a transfer bonus, which basically means they're giving you a bonus. So last time they gave you 30%. So 9,000.
Yeah, they did.
9,000 divided by 30%, which basically means in order for you to get on this flight, you need to transfer in 6,923. But they can't do numbers. You have to do a round number, like whole numbers, like 7,000, 6,000. Okay. You can't do like these other ones. So the same flight would cost me 7,000 instead of me paying 8,500 on the American to get on the same exact flight.
I could transfer it at the right time, get the 30% bump up, and then I can fly while paying the taxes.
Yes. So I like to transfer points in because I like right now they have a promotion. Mm-hmm. I transfer in 30,000, 10,000 points. I get 1,300, right? So I was like, all right, fuck. What am I gonna do with that? I'm not going on a flight now, but I got a promotion. Let me just sit on the points, and then whenever I want to go somewhere, I have it in the bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I see Flick. I got you on this. So when it comes to Chase Sapphire, right? There's two types. There's the preferred and the reserve, right? They both allow access to travel. So like if you look at, I'm going to show you, hold on one second. I'm going to go to my travel with Chase. So, my computer sucks. So right here, if I want to, oh, why is the Chase changed up its, hold on. Chase changed up its,
Hey, if you guys getting some value in it, drop some fire icons, drop something in there for Bam. So
like
here we go.
Yeah. So like right now, I got this much in United chilling, and I got this much in Chase chilling. I haven't decided where I'm gonna go, but I got enough flights to like. I use this to fly for free when I go to like Asia. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of like, so right now I'm trying to look at I don't want to show my. You guys want to see?
Let's see the money.
You guys would be like, yo, this guy is broke.
That's
but no, so
keep the coins.
So when it comes to traveling, right? Chase has two different types of traveling, right? Mm-hmm. So the preferred gives you a 25% kicker, right? So if you have 1,000 points, they'll tell you, oh, if you use your points on us, it's equivalent to 1,250. Yeah. If you have the Sapphire reserved, right? So here, I'm going to show you. My one card, right? Because they're broken up by cards. If we times this, so you can see the math, 605.29 times 0.01 should have gave me $685, right?
Okay.
But I have this much in value. Why? Because they give me 25% more of value by just having the preferred card, which is what this number comes in, okay. Right?
And that's all the points, like just added up total?
No. So whatever, if you have the Chase Sapphire preferred or the business preferred,
okay,
right? Automatically, however many points they give you, if you use Chase's portal, they entice you of using Chase's portal. They'll tell you if you use their portal, we'll give you 25%. So instead of me having $685, they're telling me you have $856 in the Chase portal to use through us, right? But you already showed you, why would I use 15,000 points even though it's worth more when I can use 7,000 points? You know what I mean? Yeah. Personally speaking, I know the value of points. Like I said, I can go to Miami round trip for 14,000 points based on this example, right?
Yeah.
And it'll cost me less than, I don't know, a Starbucks sandwich. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
that's insane.
$11 round trip, right? So the thing is that the problem is that this is one of those things that if there's availability, if there's no availability, don't go on it. There are times you can go to Miami, but it might say, oh, it's charging you 80,000 points. I'm like, why? Oh, it's New Year's or it's Christmas. So
true. Yeah.
So what I tell people is like, you want to make sure the value is there, right? And it's worth it. So what I kind of tell my client, let me go back to the Chase. So that's the Chase Preferred and Business Inc. If you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which is their top tier card, which is the $550 annual fee, they give you 50% kicker. So with my 6,000
in the portal, they give you 50% of your points.
Yeah. So
just to use them.
Yeah. So if I would have used the $685 times 1.5, I would have had $1,270 if I used their portal.
Okay.
Because of having the Chase Sapphire Reserve,
yeah.
aka $550 annual fee.
But you're getting it back as you're using it. As you understand the benefits, you get it back.
Yeah. So when it comes to this, let's just say you use a travel portal. Some people are like, I don't like using the points. All right, cool. Now my 68,000 points is equivalent to 100,027 points. 100,027 points.
Yeah. Okay.
You know? Or if you want the cash value, people are like, oh, I don't want to fly. Cool. Now you just got your cash. Yeah. Now you went from 680 to 1,000 because of this card, right? That's just the card itself. When it comes to the difference between the preferred and the reserve, the platinum and every bank is going to be the annual fee. The higher annual fee, they come with more benefits. You won't get this on the Chase Freedom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you will get it on
the higher tier cards.
The higher tier cards. So people are always going to tell me, I don't think it's worth it. All right, cool. I'll tell you right now, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the 550, right? $550 annual fee, right? $550, and they give you $300 credit, which means you can travel as long as whatever merchant gets triggered as a hotel, Uber, vacation, it give you a free $300 off the bat, which is
all of those things right there.
Off the bat. This is one of the better cards. Is Amex and other ones, they have to hit a specific thing. If it doesn't hit that, it won't trigger. But with Chase, they're super lenient. So right there, you went from 550 minus 300, you're at 250, right? The lounge access that comes with Priority Pass alone is probably worth $100. So now you're at 150. You got global entry, $100. Now you're at that. On top of the other stuff, if you go to GoPuff, whatever they offer, the card pays for itself as long as you're traveling. But some people don't travel that much, or they might be like, I don't have the money to pay $550. I'm like, you do realize I have lounge access. I go to lounges, eat and drink for free.
Yep.
And I don't pay $550. I'm like, yeah, but you're paying $20 for a bottle of water.
All the micro expenses, you're stacking them up. Now, we do have a question. Do those points expire?
Okay, so no. Well, if you close the account with the bank, yes. Like if you just say, fuck you, Amex, fuck you, Chase, I'm not going to pay you, then yeah, they can expire. But as long as you're an active member with everything, they don't. Some airlines, like if you transfer them in, like Avianca, they do this. If I transfer them to Avianca, Avianca tells you, you have to use your points by this day. If not, they'll go to waste. But sometimes I'll book a flight, cancel it, and I'll just have the points again. Or I'll buy a point or a transfer point and it gives me another year. So not all airlines do.
When I put it to a transfer partner, you have those restrictions.
Yeah, depending on the airline. Some airlines are cool, some are not. United is fine, JetBlue's fine, Singapore. All those airlines are fine. Some airlines might be like, because they want you to spend it.
Yeah.
But in reality, they don't expire. There are times with airlines they call it devaluation, where they'll devalue their points. Where like United just did it a couple months ago. Like before, from here to go to Cali might cost $18,000. Now it costs $25,000. Nice. To go to London was $60,000. Now it's $80,000. You know what I mean? So the points are worth less because they devalued it, which sucks. Or every airline will try to be strict. Like right now, Delta's reserving. It doesn't want people to go to the lounges anymore. So they're making it stricter.
Yeah, they did that change. Yeah. Guys, we do have to wrap it up soon. All right. This is a ton of information. If you're not following him now, he does drop gems. I'll make sure he drops a few of them. I don't want to control, but I do want to touch on the Capital One. We have someone who mentioned they have their Capital One card. They're using the Capital One to get points. How can they maximize that?
All right. So Capital One has different tiers of credit cards. All right. So the ones that actually give you credit card points for travel, they have they have a lot of the same card. They just call it like Venture One Rewards, Venture X. Any one of these venture cards, they give you points, right? Some of them give you 1.25 cents or 1.25 miles or points per dollar spent. Some will give you 2 points. So the difference between the cards is that the Venture X, just like Chase, they give you, I think this is my next card. I want to get this card. The fucking problem is that Capital One pulls all 3 bureaus. If you didn't know that, if you apply for Capital One, they will pull an inquiry on all 3 bureaus. Versus Chase only appeals Experian. Well, it depends on where you guys live. Banks will only pull that. So that's another thing. If you're going to apply, you want to make sure you don't have inquiries within that, too many within that bureau. Mm-hmm. But Capital One, their X card is top tier. It's a $395 annual fee. They give you $300 back if you use their portal for vacation or airfare. And then they give you 10,000 points on an anniversary. It means that once you hit a year, they give you 10,000 points, which I said 10,000 times 0.01 is $100.
Wait, every year?
So every year. Automatically. On your anniversary, they give you 10,000 points. So you take the $395 minus $300, you're $95 a year, plus global entry, $100, so now you're plus $5. Then if you do the lounges, it's another 100, 105. And then they give you the 10,000 points, which remember, 10,000 times 0.01 is $100. So within your first year, you're profiting almost $205 by just having the card.
Yeah.
Because global entry is every 5 years. But I have a lot of cards that have so many global entries. So I'll just sell it to somebody. Like, yo, listen, anyone want global entry? All right, cool. How much? Give me $50 because I already have it.
Yeah.
You know? And then they're paying $50 when they use my card to pay for the transaction. The credit card company will see it, activate the trigger for a credit, and then just reimburse me. Like I made a thing today about global entry and TSA on my post.
Wait, you lost me. So I'm getting reimbursed from the card, and I'm getting my $50 from my buddy.
Yes, because for instance, Capital Venture X, a lot of cards do this. But let's say for Capital One, they give you global entry. So what happens is if you don't have global entry, you got to sign up for it. But you use the Capital One to pay for it, right? Okay. And on the bill, you'll see the $100.
You see it coming.
Reimburse you for the $100. So it's a free global entry.
Listen, I love this. Look, everybody, thank you so much for joining. We do have to do a hard stop. We're trying to be respectful to everybody's time. And I know he's dropping so many gems, all right? We're going to commit to him. Guys, follow him. Definitely feel free to send him a message. I don't want to hard stop too quickly, but we do have to go. We're going to have another live on Friday. It's going to be at noon. So make sure you look out. This Friday at noon, we're going to be talking about mortgages. We're going to talk about the industry that's going on, rates, all the details. We're going to have a senior loan officer on there going through all your questions. I want to thank everybody. Bams,
thank you,
Hector. I want to thank you so much for your time today and all the gems that you have. I'm sure everybody, if you're still on, drop a fire for him. Let's give him a high five for that. He did provide us with a ton of information, stuff that I didn't even know. I may have to go get that X card. I think I like it already. I wouldn't mind give some of my slots. Everybody, thank you so much. All right, we'll talk soon.
Take care, guys.
All right.